Hi everyone, today I am going to be doing a picture from this very cute book, Morgan O'Brien's A Welcome to the Village. We have this picture here which actually wasn't chosen by me. I'm just trying to, whoops, come in, there we go. It was chosen by June Colours. She had invited me to do a buddy colour with her on this one. So that's what I'm doing. My intention is to share her picture at the end as well as my own so you can have a look. So that will be something to look at later. But I'm going to colour it and it'll be interesting to see what she comes up with too. So we have our two little characters on the bridge with water and the moon. I'm going to start with the moon. I picked my Polychromos pencils solely because I decided what colour I was going to do the moon with this sky blue, and thought it would work. So I wanted something very pale but not quite white. So I decided on that. So then I thought, well, I'll pick Polychromos and we'll just work from there really. So this is the only thing I've decided what colour I'm going to colour it. So here we go. Now I gather the characters on this book are from a computer game called Animal Crossing, which I have never played. So I have no idea whether they always wear the same clothes, and so whether there's a sort of standard colour to colour them. So I'm quite happy just doing it my own way. I did look a few up actually, some of the characters, not the people, there's some the animals, but I think I'm just going to do my own thing. Okay, I'm gonna, whoops, my pencil's rolling away. I need to bring my pencil case in. There we go. I'm going to use the slightly darker shade of ultramarine, don't know how well that shows up, to do the craters. So I'm just going to make them a little bit darker in there. Like that. And I don't want it really dark because the moon isn't the main focus of the picture, but you still want some sort of interest in there. There we go. Now we have a reflection of the moon here in the water. I haven't really thought about the water yet. I'm just going to leave it for now and do other bits and pieces and then have a think. Let's do a tree next. I'm quite fond of colouring trees. I'm going to start with my burnt umber and do this trunk of this tree. I'm going to do a very light covering of burnt umber over the whole of the trunk of the tree, and then I'm going to think about where I want it to be slightly darker, and we'll bring in another brown in a minute as well. So there's the basic. Then on the edge I want it a bit darker, so I don't want it too dark because there's the black there, but just layer it up a little bit, and underneath there and down here. Now we've also got lines drawn on here, so I'm going to use those as a guide to where to put some darker marks. I'm thinking maybe in there, maybe around the edge of there, like that. But that still looks a little pale, so I'm going to grab another shade. I'm going to use the bistre to fill it in. So I'm just going to use a gentle shade of bistre over the whole thing. Like that, nice and straightforward. It's good to keep it in an up and down movement because that's the way the bark is, and then go back in with the burnt umber just to re-emphasize some of those darker areas that have now been slightly obscured by the addition of that bistre. Thinking maybe the bottom might be a bit darker where it's being overlapped by that bush. There we go. Now this tree I'm going to do the trunk of as well, so we're going to move straight across to that one. I'm going to use the walnut brown for that one. Again, all over. Looks quite thick, doesn't it? But can't see any sky because that's black, so. And I'm thinking darker on the edge like we did on the other one. And maybe down here where it's dotty. And then a few stripes maybe where we've got the stripes. Just a little bit at the bottom. I'm going to go over all that again because I think I'm not going to use more than one colour, so I'm just going to go over all of it a little bit just because it's a pine tree and I want it to look darker than this one. Right, we'll do the pine tree top now. We have got a pine green, so we can start with that one. And again, a light layer. Don't worry too much if it isn't really even, because it will we'll do more layers. So I'm making this video and it's the 1st of September and it's going to go up on the 7th of September. It's the day that me and June had agreed to both put our videos up on the same day because it's fun, then you can viewers can watch both if that's what they want to do. So you can see I'm just putting darker layers in the areas where I think there's going to be a bit of shadow on the tree, and it begins to make you to identify the different layers. It's a really simple technique. And so excuse me, this is going out on the 7th, so I'm doing it well in advance. I'm going to do a very light layer of chromium green opaque on this tree, because on the 7th, I thought there was a spider crawling on my arm, but no, it's just my hair. It's just my hair tickling. On the 7th the kitchen work restarts. We've had some done already, and so that's rather exciting, but I've got quite a bit of work to do before that. Emptying out, quite a lot of it's been emptied out. We've put it down to basics, but we've got to make ourselves a makeshift kitchen upstairs and things like that. So I'm doing this video a little bit in advance, which is rather nice. I've actually had a few days off making videos, just because I had some other things to do. And I find that I don't feel like I need a break, but when I have had a break, I feel all refreshed when I come back. And I'm going to be like that a lot once the work's being done, because I might be able to record in the evenings, but I've usually got no voice by then, and I'm usually really tired by the time after tea comes, because I'm thinking they'll be finishing and it'll be tea time, and then, you know, it'll be tricky. But anyway, I'll have weekends to do little bits, but I think having a bit of a break might do me good, even though I'm not looking forward to it one little bit. So you see I've darkened some areas and left some lighter. My plan is to now use the earth green yellowish to go over again in another layer, and again just leave those tips with less colour, because we're going to bring in a third colour. Excuse me. So yeah, it's going to be exciting but also tricky, trying to cook in the sitting room, but I'll manage. And I've got quite a few solutions now. It was worrying me about what I was going to do, but I've put away different things in the freezer. I've got some things lined up that I can buy, and I'm just going to try and be chilled. I'm practicing being more chilled. I know I always sound chilled, but I'm not always chilled. I'm going to use the green gold to finish off the ends of the leaves. I think it adds a nice touch. So yeah, I'm just gonna, I'm thinking, well, I can shop each day. I'm like a 10 minutes walk from a supermarket. we've got takeaways on tap, on the phone, not on tap, that would be weird, at the end of the phone that can deliver, and it's all fine. We can manage, we can live off sandwiches if we have to. The trickiest part is going to be if we don't have a dishwasher, because washing up could be tricky then, but we've got a few plans, so we're going to manage. We've got another pine tree here, and I think we'll do that next. We'll use the pine green again like we did for the other one. Oops. And again, just a light layer to start with. It's a very interesting picture. There's a lot of grass and greenery. I find there often is in the Morgan O'Brien's pictures, and I like doing lots of greenery, so it suits me really well. Now, I don't know what that is. I'm going to do that with this green as well. It almost looks like a bit of a pine tree in the distance or something. I don't know. I also don't know what that is, but I think the girl is carrying a bag in each hand, and that's one, that's the other. I really don't know. Anyways, where should we do next? Let's do some more of the greenery. Let's get all the greenery done, because that's a fun bit to do, and it will help me pick out what else is going on. This is the permanent green olive. It really is. And I'm going to do the grass with this. Now I should do it this way. I'm just trying to see where the bridge ends here. So if there's any sort of liney type look to the colouring, you will be able to, it will look more like grass. So I'm going to do all of this floor. I realise we've got sort of bits here, lines here and there. I'm just going to do grass all over, because it's a bit easier, and I don't really know. I guess this is the path, isn't it, that I've just coloured green. Okay, well, it might be fine. It will be fine. We'll work it out. So up and down movement. So I think that's the path and this is the grass, and that might be a path as well, but I'm going to do it all, whoops, in this colour. Yeah, when we have no dishwasher, I think that's going to be the hardest bit. It's going to be tricky enough carrying a lot of things down for the dishwasher, but we'll manage that. But there will be a time when we won't have one at all. I don't think it'll be very long, to be honest, so I think it'll be okay. And I spoke to my mum this morning, and she says, so you can come round to us, which is really kind. It's tricky, we can't do that in the evenings after college or work, but on a weekend would be nice. We could go around and have a meal, not have to worry about washing up and things like that, which should be lovely. So, oh, I think I'm going to leave that actually, and do that a different colour. And I think this bit's the path here, but we're doing it in green because it's got to match the other side. But then where does it go? I guess it goes up there. I don't know. We'll get it sorted. So yeah, that'll be the trickiest. I remember last time we had our kitchen floor redone, we had breakfast out at a pub, eat all you want, and then we had I'm thinking let's add this burnt sienna, and I'm going to go in this direction like that. Last time we went out for breakfast, eat all you want, we went out for the evening meal as well, and my one son was really ill. He overate and made himself sick, but they had this most enormous sharing dessert in the evening and a big meal, and then the next morning they had a huge breakfast, and he just couldn't cope with it, and I know he wouldn't now, but he would know when to stop. So I think that's okay. I'm just gonna layer it up a little bit more. So we need to be a bit careful where that's concerned, but breakfast will be easy. I don't see, I guess we can rinse the bowls out in the bathroom sink. It'll be fine. It's just, it's the main meals that might be a bit trickier, but we'll sort it out. Okay, now we've got bushes. Now I did that little bit of a boo-boo there, didn't I? What should we do for that bush? Need something dark, I guess. If we do the chrome oxide green, it will cover that. I think I'm going to just try and erase it a little bit first. There we go. So chrome oxide green. And just fit it in the space. But I think until we've done it before with no kitchen and managed fine, but I didn't have kids then. It makes quite a difference to have them to look after. My husband's like, oh, fine, I can buy a cooked meal at work. I'm like, lucky you. Sorry, I just got to blow my nose. But you know, it's the children I worry more about, because you know, they've got to go to college and eat well, and they're like, Mum, don't worry, we'll be fine. So chrome oxide green again, and I'm going to do the triangles on this bush. I'm never quite sure what these are supposed to be, but I think if we just do them this colour and then colour the bush a different colour, it just makes it more interesting, doesn't it? I'm going to use the earth green. It's a sort of grey green for this bush. It just look really different to the other greens. I think it makes it more interesting if we mix it up a little bit. I've purposely not chosen any bluey greens though. I don't think the pine green is slightly bluey green, I guess, but not like the phthalo greens or the cobalt greens. I think it's a bit too much for this sort of night scene. Everything needs to be quite dark, I think. And I'm going to use the juniper green for this last bush here. Again, a light layer. And then we'll add in a few darker areas, particularly under here, look. Like that. Simple. Now I think the grass is a bit boring, so I'm going to use the chrome oxide green to just make it look a little bit more interesting. So firstly I'm going to colour in those bits. As I say, I never know what they are, and these tufts. We could start put a few in, couldn't we? Like that, and this bit, maybe do this bit a bit darker. I don't know what it's supposed to be. Let's just make it a bit more interesting, and then over here with a few tufts here and there, colour in these bits. I wonder if they're supposed to be footprints. Probably not. There we go. I think that looks more interesting. Gives it a little bit more height, sort of thing. Now the edge of the bank, I want that to look different to the path. I think I'm going to do it in a browny grey. I'm going to use the dark sepia and just put a light layer down to start with. So I don't want it to fade into the black of the edge of the river, but I also want it to be fairly dark. So I'm trying to colour in the direction that the lines are drawn on here. Hopefully you can just about see what I'm doing. Maybe if I start there and move away, that's easier, I don't know. It's always hard when I've got a really small pencil. I have to get in quite close. Right, now the bridge. Now we want the people to stand out. They're the focus of the picture, but do we want the bridge to stand out? We could make the bridge sort of terracotta-y and then it would stand out, or we could make it grey and tone it down a little bit. I think maybe we'll do the people first and then we'll decide. I think I'm going to do the boy with some blondish hair. So I am going to do a light yellow ochre. here. I don't know why I think he looks blonde. There he is. Now, I'm not sure he needs shading in the hair. I think I'm just going to leave it. I think I'm going to use the light flesh colour, which is the 132, which is also known as, whoops, I wrote it down, beige red for his face. It's quite pale and I think it might just work. Again, I think it needs to be quite flat because he's a cartoon character. Would he have any shading? I'm sort of thinking no. I'm going to do the same for her while I've just got it in my hand. Because I think I want them to look the same. And because look at her hands, they're just little round bits. Right, and her hair I'm thinking a lightish brown. Maybe the raw umber. I don't know if that's bit there is her hair or a ribbon on the other side. I think maybe she's got matching ribbons. So maybe we'll do it as a ribbon. Okay. Now clothing. I want something quite bold and bright because I want the children to stand out. So I'm going to use the dark cadmium orange for his t-shirt. Really bright. I know it's night time, but as I say, I want him to stand out. There we go. And shorts. What colour shorts? Sort of denim colour, maybe. It's denim. Not so nearest. I'm thinking maybe the bluish turquoise might look close to denim-ish. There he is. Now, little girl, she has some pink and purple. We use the mauve. It's no good me showing you the. Oh, is that her arm? Is that a bit of her arm there? Yeah. Mauve. We'll do it striped like this. So she's. I know we haven't done his shoes like that, and maybe a sock mauve, and then I want a pink. I think we'll go for the light purple pink and do her bow. And her stripes in that colour. I wonder what colour she's supposed to be. I wonder, she's probably got a name. And a pink shoe. I'm having her all coordinated because she's a little girl. I think she would be. Ooh, ribbon. There we go. And he needs some shoes. And I'm thinking maybe just a brown. Let's use the Van Dyck brown for his shoes. Now this is helping me to think about the bridge. We need to do his fishing rod, net, sorry. I'm going to use the walnut brown for the handle. I know we've used it already for a tree. I think it worked quite well. You could do it coloured like it's coloured plastic, but I'm thinking wood. Not sure why I'm thinking wood. No reason why it needs to be. But that's what it is now. It also won't stand out massively, which could be a good thing. Now the net, I want something fairly light. I'm thinking maybe I'm going to try the cold grey 1 and just see whether it comes out, whether it shows up at all. Yeah, it does. That's the cold grey 1. And then I'm going to use the cold grey 2 for the inside, because it'll be a little bit darker in there. There we go, it's quite simple. Now we have got her 2 bags. Now I think they might be, she's got a leaf on one bag. I think it's, so we'll grab the leaf green for that one, just because. And maybe we'll do her bags in pink and purple. This pink is the, I think it's the, yeah, Pink Madder Lake. And we'll do this back one in that colour. We'll do the whole of this and in there. And then we'll do the front one in a light, oh. Pencils are rolling everywhere. We'll do this one in violet. Now I've decided now what to do for the bridge. I think we'll do a sort of muted terracotta-y colour. So we'll actually use the burnt ochre to start with and see how it goes. I was thinking that I don't want it to, we need it to stand out from his orange top, but also we've got a reflection here, so we need it to show up in the water. If it was grey it wouldn't show up, so I was thinking we need something a little bit brighter. So I'm just doing, as you can see, a loose layer over the whole bridge, and then I'm going to have a think about what to do. There are areas that are drawn with lines like this, so I'm just going to do those to start with. I'm thinking it would be dark under there. Just fading it down a bit. And I'm thinking it might be a little bit dark here. Got a bit of dark drawn on there too. There. Okay, but I need to fill in the rest with something that's a little bit more vibrant. What shall I pick? I know, I'll go for the cinnamon. It's biggie. And I'll just fill in the rest. If it blends too much in, then we can go back over those bits that we want to be darker after. And there's a bit of shading to be done on those bricks too. I think what we'll do is we'll actually grab a bit of a darker colour. Pencils are rolling everywhere. We'll use the sanguine. I just need to sharpen it. I snap the end. That's better. I just snap the tip off. Here's the sanguine. And just go over those areas that need to be a little bit darker. And I'm thinking just here, look. And just under here, I think. Oh, and that dark bit in there. There we go. Now the water. I've got to think about this. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is use the cobalt green, which is the sort of favourite watercolour of mine. Ooh, I don't know if it wants to catch the light. And do a light layer. So I'm going to hold it quite near the bottom on its side and do a light layer. I'm actually going to make it a little bit darker here where we've got no reflection. Yeah. And then our reflection starts here, look, so I'm just going to make it all darker there, and then I'm just going to go lighter here. Like that. And I'm going to do these bits. Just gently. And that bit there. Okay, now the bridge, I'm actually going to use the darkest colour, the sanguine, to do the reflection of the bridge, but I need it light, so again I'm holding it quite far up. I'm just going to do, now you want it sort of looking ripply, so you want our cross bits like that. Okay. And then the moon is going to be trickier because it's very pale. I'm going to use the ultramarine, which was the darker colour we used for the craters. And again, a sort of ripply movement like that. The reflection of the moon. Now we have the stars to do in the sky. I'm trying to decide whether to use some Stickles or yeah, let's do that. Let's do let's do the stars with some Gellyroll pens. So let's do them in silver, all of the stars. I'm often very tempted to do these in gold, but I'm going to do all the stars in silver, so I'm just going to do that first. This is number 553. You can buy it's a metallic Gellyroll pen. You can buy it singly, open stock. You can buy it in a pack with a gold and a white, I think, or black, I can't remember. Or you can buy it in the pack that I've got with all the other metallics, or as I say, you can buy it on its own. In USA there are lots of lovely Gellyroll pens to pick from. In the UK, unfortunately, we have less choices, but these are still fairly easy to come by on Amazon. I've tried to find some in Hobbycraft, but they only do the white, they don't do the other colours. There are silver stars. Now for the moon is what I'm going to add some sparkle on, so I'm going to use some of these Stickles. I'm going to try and spread it with the end. I'm not very good at doing that. I usually use something else. So we're going to see. So what I'm going to do is try to just put a bit on the sort of cratery bits. It makes good noise, doesn't it? So try not to lean on the pen that I put on. My idea is to try and spread it so that I don't get a big lump of glue, which makes it hard to colour on the back. I want a little bit on each of the black marks. Yep, there we go. Now we could put a little glitter in the water, couldn't we? And I'm thinking that we could use, sorry, that was called Diamond Stickles, and this one's called Black Diamond Stickles, and I'm going to use this one for the water on top of the black lines of the water. Now this one has black glitter in it as well as cute bright colours. Again, I'm trying to do it quite thinly. I'm sort of not being massively accurate, but I don't think it really matters. and if I get a splodge that's too big, I just spread it along a little bit. It takes a bit of concentration, which is why I can't talk. But if you can use any sort of shiny pen or thing, I think I might only do that. I'm wondering, or I know, I'm just going to do the water rather than the actual reflection. So this is a line from the water, here and here, and a bit there. And then up here, rather than doing the bridge, I'm just going to do these bits. I think that's his. I think this is the water here. There. It's a bit thick, isn't it, over there? There we go. So I don't want to do the reflection of the kids or anything, just the ripples. I'm just sort of guessing, really. I think I'm gonna, yeah, definitely leave it there. I've got a bit of a lump there. Let's just spread that. There we go. Now let's tip it up so you can see the shine before I have finished. It's quite hard to there you go. Work out whether you can see it. But there we are. There, it's our finished page. So at the end of the video, I'm just going to tidy up actually with my burnt ochre. The edge of this bridge is a bit messy. At the very end of this video, you'll see a photo of mine, and hopefully I will have a photo of June's to put there as well, so that you can compare them. She is amazing, so hers will probably look fantastic. So well, I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure it will be. But there we go. So I hope that was okay. I had fun colouring that one. It's quite nice to do something a little simple, and then you can add some excuse me, some touches, because you don't sort of run out of patience with the picture, which I think is really good. So yeah, that was fun. So thank you for watching. I hope you have a really lovely day and happy colouring.